Setting up windows and doors is a complicated task, but I'm going to walk you through the steps today, and you'll see, with good preparation and a few helping hands, it's perfectly doable yourself.
A new construction home where a considerable number of new windows and doors are being installed. To be able to deliver the right type, everything must first be measured accurately. Before Roger takes the measure, he first wants to do a check. The threshold must be installed correctly.
The first step is ensuring the threshold is properly placed, meaning we have a 5 cm setback to set up the window, that it's level and makes a 5-degree slope outward. We are now going to measure the window opening in the daylight size. This means between the facade bricks on the outside and between the threshold and the top. Here we'll add 2 cm left, right, and top. It's the production size to input into the system. We're going to measure with a tape, laser, or rod meter. You can also use this. It's simpler.
Don't settle for measuring once. Measure the height both on the left and right to be sure. You never know that there would be a difference that would cause problems during assembly. And carefully note the obtained measurement. Especially if you need to measure multiple windows in a row, it's best to track all on a plan to keep everything separate. Then also take a few points in width for control and gauge precisely. Don't forget to add 4 cm in width and 2 cm in height to get the production size. Once you have measured all the sizes, you can simply determine which type of joinery and glazing you want. You will then determine the material choice based on aesthetics and insulation value. Once the production is finished, it's time to bring the windows and doors to the site. A good planning ensures that for the ease of installation, all windows and doors are placed as close as possible. Especially with the large glass panels, this is indeed a job that requires a few skilled hands to handle effectively. Think about good ergonomics when lifting and carrying, ensuring the joinery cannot scratch. So provide something that the trim can lean against without getting scratched.
So, to enter the production size, we always add 2 cm to the left, right, and top. But we are going to let our masonry and insulation recede by 5 cm. This is because we can further insulate the window with PU foam afterwards.
Here and there's still some excess insulation. You can easily hide it with a simple handsaw. While you can still reach it, it's handy to clean the reveals a bit with a brush. I've now taken a brief window.
This is useful to show all the phases we need to do to prepare the window for installation. It is small now, but actually all steps overlap.
No matter the window size, there isn't much work at the window, but it needs to be done to operate the window correctly. You securely mount the handle in the provided holes, and then shift the cover cap. Then you secure the handle with necessary screws. Then turn the cover plate back into place. Push the pin out of the hinges. This way you can remove the window from the casing. Put it aside. Turn the frame upside down so you can remove the plastic housing at the bottom. This ensured that the window could not get scratched during transport. This was temporarily screwed in place and can therefore be quickly dismantled. Finally, you remove the protective film. Then apply self-adhesive insulation tape Remove the protective film and stick to edges.
I am now applying the Moss band to the frame for two reasons. On the one hand, the strip protects the frame from direct contact with the outer brick, and on the other hand, it gives me the necessary space to caulk the frame afterwards.
Trim with utility knife. As you can see, band placement is smooth.
If you have a new building, we'll place the window frame on EPDM rubber. If you have a renovation, we install a threshold to even out height differences between the indoor and outdoor sill. If you have a house you want to plaster with crepe and wrap with extra insulation, we have an aluminum threshold.
For ensuring a good seal, a layer of high-quality silicone, specifically suitable for outdoor applications, is first carefully applied. An EPDM underlayer is already securely attached to the window frame itself, which also effectively incorporates channels to potentially drain moisture to the outside. Then it's time to bring the framework on site. Try to center it nicely at first glance and temporarily fix it with a few clamps.
We have now placed the frame in the opening and temporarily secured it with a clamp. This allows us to measure everything nicely and check if the frame is nicely centered in the opening. We'll also ensure everything's level. If it is, we can proceed with the fix.
You click the wall anchors into the provided slot on the framework with a twisting motion. The frame has already been installed, and then you click the anchors onto it. To get the anchor closer to the wall, you manually fold it for a moment and then push the whole thing closer to the wall.
Ensure you add enough hooks so your window stays well secured.
Drill the necessary holes with a stone drill of the appropriate diameter. Then it's a piece of cake to insert the plug and fix the corresponding screw. Repeat with all anchors. Then it's time to start installing the window completely. A word of explanation.
The frame is now in place. Now we are going to hang the wings back. We have tightened a number of ribbons under the wings, which makes transport or carrying much easier. We hang the wing from the bottom, then from the top.
So always provide a helping hand. The glass panels are indeed too cumbersome to handle by oneself, and it's crucial to avoid damaging the windows at all times. First click the whole thing at the bottom, then only install at the top. If the firing pin slides in a bit stiffly, you may help with a few gentle taps, but be careful, of course. Once the window is attached, you click the cover caps on it. And finally, you remove the protective film on the shining work. Fix the window handle back on the frame.
Two wings of our window are not perfectly aligned with each other, however. With the hinges we can easily adjust all that, both in terms of height and left-right direction. We'll open the window, both wings, removing tension, then adjust it properly.
The space between carpentry and inner wall needs finishing. For that, just moisten all.
We've now lightly moistened the cavity wall insulation, ensuring the PU foam adheres better. We have chosen low expansion blue PU foam for the following reasons. Blue, it matches perfectly with our triple soundproof glass. The blue foam is also soundproof, and its low expansion means that we have a low expansion, ensuring that we can efficiently fill everything at once. If you're not using low expansion foam, do it in 2 goes to be sure.
Adjust the gun with great accuracy so you can finish in a neat manner. When using high expansion PU foam, you first set a few dots that you let harden. Only then do you complete the necessary layer of insulation. The filling foam is water repellent and will also provide an extra attachment for the window. Ensure to be extremely careful not to get any PU foam on the chosen PVC or aluminum joinery. If you can't immediately remove it with a correct product, you can damage the paintwork.
Installing doors involves different thresholds. A threshold with an upstand. The threshold is also placed a bit further inside, and the draft brush under the door fits perfectly on top of the upstand. This ensures that when you close the door, the brush goes down and everything is windproof. Even when the door is closed and the rainwater is running down, this will come up on the threshold, causing it to run outwards and not be able to go inside. In this opening, we're placing a door. The attachment of a door differs as it's heavier, and when opened, many forces are exerted on it. So, we are not going to work with mounting hooks, as we would with the windows, but instead, we are going to carefully attach plywood panels directly to the inner wall, and then, subsequently, we are going to securely screw the door directly into those plywood panels.
Drill through the plywood and straight through the inner wall, then the holes are identical to each other. Provide the necessary plugs and screw it in permanently. Invest in screws that are rust resistant. Given that the door is quite heavy, several plywood panels should be provided. Whatever you are working on, never make it harder for yourself than necessary. The door is quite heavy, so disassemble the glass door so you can mount the framework much more smoothly. And again, a helping hand is needed. Center the frame as well as possible. A slight tap to adjust something may be necessary. Check if everything is level, and guarantee that all the measurements are, without a doubt, correct. Then you can simply safely repair the frame for now. In our case, the joinery is made of PVC, so to drill holes in it, you use a metal drill. Then, with a quality screw, you screw the frame onto the underlying plywood. Make sure the screw head is well sunk. Repeat several times on both sides to ensure the frame is firmly anchored to the inner wall. Bring the door and attach it to the lower wing first, just like before with the window. Small chance everything's correct as per manual. you can still slightly adjust hinges. Remove the set screw and cover so you can adjust the hinges until the window sits evenly everywhere and can open and close smoothly. You quickly fit the door handle.
So, as you can see, we installed windows and doors by ourselves. Actually quite a feasible job. Make sure you check two things well. One, make sure you definitely have helping hands with you. You can't carry this alone, it's bad for the back. Moreover, everything starts with a proper measurement and check. Take your mate well, take your time calmly, check on time with the level, and if everything is straight, perfect placement. I'm eager and look forward to our next job together.